Okay. Looks like we're, pretty good so far. And you know what? Excuse me. And another thing, sorry about that. Didn't even realize that my audio, especially on this headset that I have, was choppy and staticky. It turns out like it only works a certain way. But oh, what's up, Frost? But it's all good. Hey, everything's back to normal. Look like I'm just gonna use my speakers. But yeah, though, like I was saying, again, like right before I got had to do something about the technical malfunction. It's been long. Again, it's long overdue. I know I spoke. I know I spoke to a few people about this, not necessarily on YouTube, but just like behind the scenes. That, like I said, again, if you've seen the movie, great. If not, hey, you might want to check it out. And another thing is that like I was saying that again I touched on Louis Anderson and why I always thought that he was dead for some reason because I was told this a long time ago when I seen the first one. Then he did the cartoon and you haven't seen him in anything else. I don't know if he went into hiding or what, but you just never heard from him up until coming to America started filming. And I know everybody had to feel like that was at a 33-year reunion. And also, and also some other gems where they shot this in Atlanta, of course, not only using Tyler Perry's studio, but they was also in Rick Ross's house. And you could think, damn, at Rick Ross's house? Yeah. And then it's like they film it in a certain place, but then it's like you're flying back and forth. 1 minute it can be to New York, and then 1 minute it's back to Atlanta. Everybody thinking that it's Zamunda. Hey, what's up, TR? Yeah, I'm hitting them, and I'm dropping them. I'm dropping them jewels tonight. But you know what though? But the thing is they had, again, they had some additional characters that you didn't think you would never ever see. That I've never heard of, before. But oh, I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Like I would have never known that there was a such thing called a witch doctor, but just now I'm not saying that I'm spoiling it, but this is what you call a dirty little secret because Arsenio Hall talked about this particular character that Eddie basically wrote that for himself. But because he was already doing other characters, and plus trying to finish up over 6 hours of makeup. And that's the toughest part doing a movie like this, even though it took about 33 years to do to complete from start to finish. And one of the things that I could actually say is that, and I agree when it's this isn't one of these types of projects to where we're just gonna half-ass it just to do a quick cash grab and leave because it's like if you were willing to do that, well then you're basically cheating yourself and cheating the audience. And I say some of the gaming industry can learn. There's not only certain movies, but TV, and even in the gaming world can learn from that. Like you just don't take a certain classic and just half-ass the project without putting a certain amount of years to it. And then this is how you end up getting the projects that we've gotten, hell, even before or even during the pandemic. But other than that, though, yeah, this definitely wasn't one of those, cash grab type of films that it's because it's easy somebody to do a classic and just say, oh, well, we ain't going to even put, even a third or a fourth of the extra effort. And all of a sudden, again, we're just going to take people's money because when they see a title, people will be so quick to automatically decide, okay, well, we're going to grab a hold of this title. And then all of a sudden, the project didn't live up to your expectations. Well, you know what? But either way, though, either way. Oh, excuse me. Like, so I don't know what's going on with me today. I'm not sure if I'm coming down with something. It's like, oh yeah, that's right. It's pollen. It's allergy season. So that, yes, people, we're in that, allergy season. Just so you know. But either who though, oh man, I lost my train of thought again. Damn it. But yes, though, like, but the witch doctor. Oh yeah, but going back to the witch doctor, like I said, Eddie basically wrote that in for himself, but because he didn't want to do extra hours of wearing makeup, he decided it's like, hey, let's get somebody else to do it, whether if it's Arsenio or a different cat. And I think also Dave Chappelle took to Twitter and basically tagged Eddie and was like, hey, I'll do it. And so what again, just imagine what that would have been like. Dave Chappelle. I thank you, man. I appreciate it. Just imagine Dave Chappelle would have been in Coming to America as a witch doctor. And it would have been, it would have turned out something different. And also, again, and the thing about it is that in the fact that it's like not too many people know this, but he actually had his daughter acting in the, also she made her acting debut. Not too many people know that though. Like what? Eddie Murphy had his daughter? Yeah, yeah. Eddie Murphy actually had his real daughter in the movie. Dave Chappelle being and Coming to America would have been epic. And you would also know what also would have been epic too, because there were so many ideas and teasers being thrown around at the time. One minute, like the guy that got to play his son. Oh, come on, I forget this dude's name. I may have to. Yeah, the dude that actually played Eddie Murphy's son. Originally, it was supposed to be Kevin Hart, but not too many people know that. Now somebody may say, "Oh, that's not true. That's not true." Okay, it doesn't have to be true. I'm just saying that hey, once something is put out there, again, whether it been certain ideas or whether it be just it just being put out there just for the sake of being put out there, and you can't necessarily, undo it, and then people just not buy into, oh, Kevin Hart can't be Eddie Murphy's son. Well, maybe not. But I'm telling you that just imagine, you could have had Dave Chappelle or Kevin Hart in this, in this classic of a movie that made, and I'm gonna get into this in a minute, that if the first didn't take it over the top, well then this one could have been transcending. I was going to mention about Eddie Murphy's daughter being in that movie. Right. And but she did her thing though. Like she did her thing. Now the other girl, now the oldest one, the one that played the oldest daughter, she was actually in the movie The Old Guard. Now, for those of you who don't know about The Old Guard, if you're a comic book Marvel fanatic, she's actually in the movie, and it's still available on Netflix. You know, The Old Guard with Charlize Theron. And Charlize Theron, believe it or not, was just kicking ass and taking names, including everybody in including everyone in the movie, not just her. Dave Chappelle was in Eddie Murphy's right. Reggie Warrington. Oh yeah, well again, and that was the thing that's again like when Dave Chappelle did Reggie Warrington. Like I remember, again, we didn't think we would ever see him again until Half Baked. Like he had the dreads, and he was definitely a lot younger then. But and the thing about it was that like he looked straight up goofy. I'm not saying that it's being disrespectful, but even he himself can say, oh, well back then, right when I was doing shows at these, local bars at the comedy club. I was 14. I was a teenager, but I looked like an elementary kid. I was 14 years old, but I look 11. And I go up to the stage, and people already was was already laughing, and I haven't even told the joke yet. But yes, though. Oh yeah, but yeah, though. But to Eddie Murphy opened the doors for Dave Chappelle, and Half Baked is what put Dave on them, right? And you know what? And and that is true though. That is true. And even though that movie is still a classic, but even Dave Chappelle, and he said this a long time ago. Like when I did Half Baked, I mean, don't get me wrong, people still view it as it being a good movie or being one of the classics, but it just didn't come out the way I would have expected it to come out because I mean, we had fun, we did what we did, but then all of a sudden, people would be all like, "Man, you done made a weed movie for kids," and at the time, it's like, well, that wasn't what we was hoping for. That a movie, that a weed movie would be made for children like that. That wasn't what we was, that wasn't not necessarily the type of targeted audience we was expecting to have. But well, you see, think about this though. Now, because you remember, back then, and I think they somewhat still have this, where when you see a certain movie and it's rated R, rated X, and you're at a young age, and either you can't go see it by yourself because you're not of age, or you have to be accompanied by an adult, and which to me it's oh, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you would have some extra X-rated stuff that you can get on cable, and people not easily turn into that. It was like, oh, because we're all guilty of it. Shoot, hell, and I'm gonna drop another dirty little secret on you. Like first time, like one of the movies that I necessarily really couldn't look at back then. Maybe now, but back then, yes, AMR was somewhat of a was kind of a wimp back in the day, but hey, I'm a grown man now. Yeah, one of the movies that, I basically couldn't look at that age was Tales from the Hood. I seriously could not look at Tales from the Hood, let alone if I was by myself. But there were people that would talk about it, and for some reason, maybe they had nerves of steel. I haven't developed into that, I haven't developed to that part just yet. Like, it took me years and years to get to that point. Because scary movies, sure, movies may not be scary in this day and age, but it was definitely scary then. I say even going back uh, to the Vincent Price, and for those of you who don't know about Vincent Price, oh, Vincent Price, that's the narrator in Michael Jackson's Thriller video and song. He was the king of horror, or at least one of them. I mean, hell, they try to do again. It's like they try to do this. I remember that movie, Tales from the Hood. It's horror, but it was a horror movie with a message in it. It's close to yeah, true. I didn't really think about it that way. But even that, they had some stars in the movie though. I'm not gonna front. I mean, hell, you had David Allen Greer in the movie, and not too many people knew that David Allen Greer was actually a Shakespearean trained type of actor. I didn't know this. It's amazing what again what you didn't know, uh, and what get what you didn't know then now. And it's like, you know what? No wonder you can pull certain things off, and it gets to the point to where it's like, okay, you're remembered for this part, even though you kind of have some goofy moments. But okay, Vincent Price is the face of horror. Yes, yes, and just that voice too. Yeah, that voice too, man. Like it, just the thought of that is. But yeah, though. But at the but yeah though. But at the same time, again, like they had some additional characters and certain actors and actresses. I again, yeah, they even got my man Wesley, and because hey, Wesley, he needs some work. I mean, he again, it's like for him to have the role that he had in. I'm gonna tell you, and you know what, that walk that he do as General Izzy. I'll be somewhere and I would just be impersonating that walk. And I'm like, man, just imagine if somebody was filming me doing this. Tales from the Hood dealt with police brutality, racism, child abuse, and Yeah, you know what? Yeah, true. It's like you was pretty much watching Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, and what other gangster hood movies out there. But this time they added a scary version to it. Also known fact, Vincent Price was also in the Scooby Doo series, The 13th Ghost of Scooby Doo. And you know what? And that's the thing too. Like, cause I remember there was a ghost Scooby Doo movie And I think around that time, can't necessarily I remember all of it, but they had, but then the moment that Scooby turned, oh, even cartoons back then. Somebody say, "Well, what you scared of a cartoon for?" Trust me, you're not all that full bold and strength when you see certain things. But yeah, they had Scooby Doo looking as scary as hell. Now I'm not sure if this was it, but I know they did one, which was based in the movie, and he had, of course, his nephew, Scrappy. Oh, but yeah, though, but I damn, like, am I getting sick or something? Uh, oh well, I digress. All right, cool. Hey, Tr, I'm gonna look at it here in a little bit. Like once I finish with the stream. But yeah, though, the dude that played Eddie's son, though, it's like again, when you see the movie, it's like, oh man, Junior is just like Senior in a way when it comes to the decisions and the choices, because hell, Eddie made those exact same decisions earlier on, when that's how he was able to again have Lisa Lisa McDowell. Wesley Snipes was having fun with that movie. And you know what? Yeah, it's like he'll get a role now, and instead of him, acting all, you know, extremely aggressive. I mean, he can be aggressive, but it's like he's like I'm trying not to take on so much to where if I have to get a role, then I don't have to worry about being too serious. I can just have fun with it. Yo, Aaron, are you gonna be on Discord? Yeah, I probably might be there. And matter of fact, just so y'all know, I did beat Judgment. Yes, I did beat Judgment. But the controls, though, is like when you playing Judgment, it's like playing a Yakuza game, but it's still gonna take a while to get used to. And I still got some side missions to play. Maybe I'll unlock the special skills and such. But yeah, though. But another thing that I was getting ready to say, and hopefully I could try to retrace my steps. And oh yes, okay, right now I remember. But back to, well, were there some things again about coming to America for me that didn't necessarily do as well as the original? Well, you know what? To be honest, there were some things that Coming to America, the sequel, um, just it didn't live up to. It's like what it didn't actually do it for me was the jokes. And I mean, you had funny moments, but it's like we could watch the original Coming to America versus this Coming to America, and we remember the words. We remember the movie line for line, word for word, bit for bit. Like I can reenact the scene right now where they all at Senior McDowell's house, and the Reverend is talking to Lisa and them. He had guests over, and I think Hakeem and Simi was serving drinks. And then when Daryl, who was Eric LaSalle, was like, pop the big question. Of course, that scene can be, revisited and acted out word for word. And the catchphrases, I can't recall too many, of too much of, of Coming to America, the sequel, where you didn't have too many catchphrases. Hakeem started to act like his father until Lisa reminded him who he was and why he went. Yeah, I did notice that. But even he had necessarily had to get a moment of clarification too. Like I don't. I'm like, no, I'm not. I don't really want to be King Joffrey Joffre. And I'm like, well, we didn't know at the time you were starting to act like him. Now that right there can hit close to home because you even got people who are together and who are married who have family issues because of situations like this. So yeah, that part right there was for the culture because that does exist. Like beautiful, beautiful. What is it, velvet? Hey, it's Kuta Kinte. Like, what can I do for you, boy? Okay, you make my hair look like this. Oh man, why you make your hair look like that for? I like the way you wear your hair. Wear it natural. And and that's the thing too. It's like the original. It's again, you just remember word for word, line for line, bit for bit, and what catch the audience. But I guess they was trying to take it and catch the audience in a different way. But again though, but the classics is but I guess again sometimes certain sequels don't always don't do as good as the first one or let alone the second one. Hey, what's up, Kimmy? But yeah, though, I but for me though, it's hey, everybody did their thing in that movie. It was basically about having fun. I mean, yeah, I guess if you want funny, the way we know funny, then I guess it was taken and done in a certain way. But like I said before, again, like for me, I know if I were to look at Coming to America right now, I can already, like I said, I mentioned this before, that I already know what the funniest scene is to me. Now, I won't necessarily mention that here, but like I said, if you've seen it, for me, I know to me what the funniest scene is. Reverend Brown. Reverend Brown has been, again, has been my minister, my pastor since I was a little boy, and I love him to death. Hmm. What's going on? Like, oh, everybody look good. Give him a round of applause. Everybody else look good. Give yourselves a round of applause. Ooh, that boy good. Mm-hmm. Good and terrible. You must be out your goddamn mind. Joe Louis is the greatest boxer that ever lived. No, but what about Rocky Marciano? Yeah, you get Rocky, well, like, there you go. Every time I get to talking about boxing, Somebody boy got always pull up Rocky Marciano ass. Rocky Marciano, Rocky Marciano. Well, Rocky must have been a motherfucker. Joe Louis was 70 something years old when he fought. He showed it whooped Joe Louis's ass. and that's the thing too, that just the arguments and seeing the barbers back together again, even though it's Eddie and Arsenio and the dude that was in the first one. Like who would have thought he still? It's like you have to again. If you again to be. It's like you attending a Michael Jackson concert and you know how his concerts are gonna start and how they're gonna finish, and how they want to set up. It's like yeah, because you know your material. Well, I'll be with you boys in a minute. And damn, boy, what is this? Some kind of weave or something? This is my natural hair. I've been growing it since birth. What kind of chemicals you put in the hair? No chemicals, just juices and berries. Oh, it ain't nothing but oxyperm. Just tell me how you want it. Just make it look nice and neat. Oh, hey, you know what, TR? I'm laughing because at the last comment that you just wrote, because I don't even necessarily ain't gotta act it out. You know, word for word, again, word for word, and how he said it and who he was saying it to. Just that scene alone, again, once you get it stuck in your head because you done seen it thousands and hundreds and thousands of times, like I said, you know the material. Like, fuck you, and fuck you, and fuck you. Who's next? but Eddie was, hey, that Eddie Murphy back then, y'all, like, again, that Eddie was, was the man. And even when he was doing stand up, again, it was like, he was the man. He told a lot of truth. They got the Big Mac. We got Big Mick. They're McDonald's. We're McDowell's. 8407 Queens Boulevard. Yes. And you know what? And that's the thing, too. Like, everybody. And you know what? And nowadays, because, but then again, when you have movies like that and when you have classics, because you know how back then, they tried, and I think they tried it with a couple others, like take these classics and try to reboot it with these different characters, and it's just like, what are you doing? And that's the thing too. It's like for Eddie and Arsenio and Wesley and also I'm gonna get into the Wesley Snipes thing, right now. See, Wesley Snipes originally auditioned and was gonna be in the first one, in the first Coming to America, but I don't know if Eddie went to him or somebody from the producing staff went up to him and was like, "Hey, you look too much of the part, more so than Eddie Murphy does. So I don't think we have any room for you." And I think that was when Eric LaSalle was in it, but Eric LaSalle, I guess, didn't get written in, or didn't get written in as well as some other folks. Oh yeah, you very well better believe it, man. Like some classics just can't be touched. That'd be like them trying to, retouch Harlem Nights, and it's like, no, you can't. Even Harlem Nights is like, nah. Yeah, we can all look at, the actors and the comedians and things like that, and they did their thing, but it's just like, you don't have to. But Eddie did say, and I quote, that they already got ideas for another Coming to America 3. Now, some people may be like, why? Well, I mean, and of course, you can ask those questions, but my thing is like, I guess, and it's also, again, it's like, well, if you ask the audience, some folks say, hey, well, I just leave it right up to the audience. I'm like, hell, but think about, get all the Friday movies that they did. Now, some people may say, well, this Friday, well, the original was better uh, than the second one or even the third one. Well, you know what? Me personally, I say the first Friday and Friday after next is my personal favorites out of all the Friday movies. And why I say that, because in the first Friday, Chris Tucker, again, that young Chris Tucker that was coming out of Def Comedy Jam, again, that was, his sort of his introduction to the world. I don't think that, again, you can just, get like do something and just forget the lines that in the acting parts that Chris Tucker did. And even Friday After Next, that was how we got introduced to Cat Williams, also known as Money Mike. And that Money Mike, and again, and that early Cat Williams was nobody to fuck around with. I'm just telling you that right now. Like, you can't fuck around with that early version of Cat Williams. Chris Tucker stole the show. Uh, Second Friday didn't work because everyone was expecting Chris Tucker, and yeah, and even Chris Tucker now was still saying, I quote, was like, no, I won't do another Friday. Now Cube is not, again, I like Cube, but if we did something that wasn't Friday related, hey, you know what, y'all? Just give me one second. I'm gonna be right back. Sorry about that, y'all. I was trying to get a hold of me about something, trying to figure out what I want to eat, and thinking about some Chipotle. But yeah, though. But yeah, though. But it's just like, just certain people. When you go out there and you do your thing, especially in these parts, whether if it's movies or hell TV shows, again, it's like it's it's kind of difficult for you to get infamous and not necessarily, and again, and it's going to be kind of difficult to you all of a sudden not be famous, but you're going to be steered clear away from being infamous. But going back to what I was saying about Chris Tucker, it's like, if him and Ice Cube were to do a different project to where it's not Friday related, he'll do that, but he won't do another Friday. Because the first Friday, and he still talks about him not necessarily getting paid what he should have. Like he didn't make all that much, and then you look at other cast members who starred in that. I think even John Witherspoon even said before he passed, God rest his soul, that hell, like nobody made no money. Well, I mean they made some, but not a whole lot to where people will be living this, luxury, lavish lifestyle. It's like they pretty much just basically just did work for scrap or chump change. Nah, and of course it's like, well, wasn't that again like, well, Cube Vision? Well, it was under it, but really, I look at New Line. Yeah, New Line and Cube Vision were part of that. Were a part of that. Now, do I again am I going to put the blame all on Ice Cube? No, no. Because if that was the case, well then why wouldn't he come back and do two more Fridays? Next Friday and Friday after next. Now don't get me wrong, now Carla and uh next Friday, ooh, ooh. She was fine as fuck. Carla, the sister of Baby Joker. Hey, I'm. Don't get me wrong. It's like I'm not gonna take away nothing from nothing away from that at all. It's like nah, like she. Ooh, it's like I can watch next Friday and just be mesmerized by Carla all day, every day, no problem. Yeah, yeah, she was right. T also, yeah. So you and yeah, and that's the thing too. And it's like, but you know what though? But even Nia Long and Regina King, and even Paula J. Parker or Jai Parker, even they were like, "Yo, we never got callbacks from Q." And we were the originators or the original ones that was in it. That the main reason why it took off. They said they had some other project. He said he had projects for us, but we ain't got no callbacks. So they was kind of like joking, messing around, like, "Yo, Cube, like, when you gonna give me a call? And I was your girl." Yeah, yeah, Debbie from across the street. Yeah, yes, Debbie. I'll take a Debbie from across the street over what's her name that was like, "Who the fuck you go to the show with last night?" I didn't go to the show last night. You ain't got to lie, Craig. You ain't got to lie. Ain't nobody lying. I ain't go to the show last night. Yes, you did. And even that too, though. Uh, but at least again, like with movies like Friday, you know, the catchphrases. You know how to act out. Scenes line for line, word for word, bit for bit. You know, at least Ice Cube did. Ice Cube and the Friday franchise and even New Line did their part on behalf of, when it came to that. Right. I mean, it's like hell. I'm like didn't he whoop Debo ass for basically for hitting her? Nah, and even that part, and I'm gonna drop even though it's supposed to be a coming to America review, but I'm also gonna drop some dirty little secrets on why that fight scene happened between Debo and Ice Cube. That was basically a tribute to Easy E. And it's like, what do you mean it was a tribute to Easy E? Well, because Easy E at the time I think, was getting fucked with by Suge Knight, but who happened to be bigger than Easy. And so, of course, so Suge, so again, you take Suge Knight and you take Debo, they're pretty much the same size. Now, Ice Cube and Easy E, even though Cube is like what 5'8", 5'9", and Easy was only what 5'4" or 5'5", I believe. Yeah, the smaller, again, it's like the smaller person getting the best over the bigger person. Yeah, that's at least you want to again send a message that way. It's like how big somebody is. No need to do any more Friday movies because John Witherspoon died, Debo died, Bernie Mac died, Adele from Moesha. And you know what? And that was how well, originally, even before that, like right when John Witherspoon passed, he was already having issues with New Line because I guess New Line wanted to do a CGI version or wanted to take Friday in a certain direction and Cube wouldn't let him. And it's like, and that's the thing too. It's like when you know your project, you know how you want it to come out, but yet let somebody else try to take it over, it won't be the same. I didn't know about that. Ice Cube dedicated that fight to. Yeah, he did. He did. It's like when you watch what was it? What was it? Straight Out of Compton, and you look at that scene where the dude that was playing Easy E and the dude that was playing Shook, and the events that took place. Um, Easy basically getting beat down by Shook and his crew, and that's where you still have the questions that's coming in like uh damn, but what was I giving? Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. I got distracted. I was doing something, but yeah. Um, oh yeah, the questions about well, there's always been little naysays about well when Easy E got diagnosed with HIV. Question is, well, did Shook inject him with a needle that contained symptoms of HIV? And that question is still has a jury out on it. And then you get a lot of he said, she said. But my thing is this: I mean, only person that could answer that question if he could, would be Easy. Unfortunately, I know it sucks, but only Eric Wright would have the answer to that. But what they also didn't show in in Straight Outta Compton was that not only was Easy attacked, but Jerry Heller was also attacked. I'm surprised they didn't put that part in the movie because I guess when the uh, when the premiere started, I guess Jerry Heller attended, and his thing was like, "Oh, if you show me in any negative light, then I'm gonna sue." But thing is, you passed away, so I'm surprised they don't take that footage of what they didn't put out and and put it in the deleted scenes. Not only Easy being attacked, but you got attacked just because you want to try to, uh, just because you want to control the narrative of stuff by suing. Well, what is that? What is that telling you, or what is that telling us? But yeah, though, just a lot of mysteries and a lot of unanswered questions, like just mysteries unsolved. Because you just never know what you may get. But yeah, though. But other than that, though, no, I kind of went off topic here a bit. But yeah, though. But overall, to me, Coming to America got my approval. It did. And I guess sometimes there's nothing wrong with telling a different story because that's I mean again even in America we tell the best stories. I mean, not to say that you don't have other countries that we may look at their anime or we may watch their movies and just go, oh man, this is some good acting. Not saying that. But yeah, though, but others, they do their parts. But yeah, though, but hey, all right then, y'all. I wish I could go longer and I want to go longer, but I gotta go ahead and order some food. But I do thank everybody who was able to stop by, in the chat so we can talk about this. Hopefully, I can go into more detail in other, in other places, which I may get to. Oh yeah, so shout outs to Am, Frost, TR, Kimmy, and hopefully I can come back and do another stream. If not, well then hey, y'all know where I'll be. Y'all can follow me on again. Yes, I do have a Twitter, do have Facebook, Instagram. Now I am on Discord. Matter of fact, maybe next time I'll just go ahead and drop the links in the chat, yeah, in the description. But I really ain't got time for that right now because I gotta go ahead and order some food. But all right then, y'all. This has been good. Talk to y'all later. Catch you on the next one. Peace.